Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up.
Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show. I am your host, Jay Red, and I'm joined with a special guest. This has been a long time coming. This is actually his first appearance on the show. First time of many, 2021. What's happening? We got Lavelle Leggett in the building.
What's happening?
Hey, man, glad to have you here, bro. You been all right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty good, man. It's been a long time coming. We always have these little conversations behind the scenes, but we never actually put it on camera before, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, first time for everything. First time for everything. And we're going to have more. I don't know why we didn't think about this before, but we'll have more to come. All right, so everybody, make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/TheAuthenticNetwork. And if you're watching right now, just hit the like button. It's important, critical. Hit the like button for us, family. All right, y'all. So it's been some stuff that has been going on. I'm sure that you all saw the Ashanti versus Keisha Cole battle. I already did a video giving my breakdown and everything. Did you get a chance to catch it, Lavelle?
Yeah. I saw some of the topics from the last video you did.
No, I'm talking about Ashanti and Keisha Cole, their battle.
The battle itself?
Yeah.
Man, I missed that one, man. But I've heard things about how she was late.
Yeah. Keisha was late, and she gave some reasoning behind it. But, I mean, if you didn't see it, you didn't really miss anything. It was one of the worst versus battles. So, we're not going to spend too much time talking about that. But what we are going to get into is a rumored versus battle that could possibly take place. This is a wish list versus battle. It is the Notorious B.I.G. versus Tupac Shakur. Now, this would be creative because this would be the first posthumous versus battle. This will be unique. It'll be different. But just say that Tupac and Biggie were alive up to this date, right? And say we're just only going to count what they made prior to their deaths, right? And what came out later on after their deaths as well, Who do you think could win a versus battle between Biggie and Tupac?
Okay, I was thinking about that the other day. Tupac got a way bigger catalog, if I'm not mistaken. Because Big, he had them two albums. Actually, he passed away before the actual second album even came out. So what's his other album besides, what was it called, Born Ready or something like that? The third album, the first posthumous album.
Born Again.
Born Again. So other than those three albums, what else does he have?
He doesn't. As far as albums that he actually recorded and
Right.
He only has two. Yeah, he only has two.
So it's kind of hard, but the thing is, his first two albums were so good that mostly all his tracks on those on his first two albums were classics. So that's the thing where he has more of a quality on his albums per se over a Pac album, but it's kind of hard to say. But I would say I would lean more towards Pac though.
Yeah, because if we're going song for song, right? Biggie would win some rounds, but it's Pac's even because Pac had 4 or 5 albums before his death. So he had
5 albums after his death too. He kept on dropping albums.
Exactly. So it's you could literally play something from 1991 all the way up until 2006.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a song with Swiss Beats in 06. Dude, his stuff is almost still going. I heard he still got music that ain't even came out yet. Is that true?
More than likely, I wouldn't put it past it. But Biggie would definitely win rounds.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say it will be a landslide. It'll be a close one.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be a close. That just shows how strong Biggie's catalog is because his songs when he did his songs that does stand the test of time, which is almost all of his songs, they're really good. Sky's the Limit, that's one of my favorite tracks.
Exactly. Biggie got Sky's the Limit, Juicy, Notorious Thugs, his, like you said. See, the thing is, he had a double album, right? And on that double album, he had "Fucking You Tonight" with R. Kelly. He has a lot of songs.
He has joints. Now, was his first album a double album, or was it like almost? It was just really long though.
It was just a long album. So, but I'm more of a fan of his second album,
Really?
Life After Death. Yeah, because I like the production on there. He gave something for everybody, and he was in his bag. Not saying he wasn't in his bag on Ready to Die, but Ready to Die consists of a lot more East Coast production versus Born Again. I mean, Life After Death. It had East Coast production, but it was more of like a, like that's when Bad Boy was Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying?
So, I still can't believe that it took him almost 3 years for his second album to even come out. Like, what was he doing in between those times? Like,
just the thing is, he has star power. You know what I'm saying? He was doing a lot of features. He was just that it factor. You know what I'm saying? And he was just so dope, and just the big between him and Wu-Tang Clan, New York and Nas. New York had a big come.
Okay, it had to be somebody in between that time when he wasn't dropping an album or when Pac wasn't dropping an album. For him to have that much of an impact with 2 albums, that's insane.
But you also remember too, this is just off topic, but Snoop Dogg, his Doggy Style came out in '93, but he didn't put out an album again until '96 when he put out The Dogfather. So those three, Snoop was so big to where he could carry 3 years of just, he put out Murder Was the Case, the soundtrack and stuff like that. But it just depends on how much of an impact you have on the game to where you could take that long, of a break in between.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Who you got?
Well, I told you I got Tupac. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know. Because if you do 20 for 20, I don't know. I would say Tupac.
I don't know either. I guess I said I lean more towards Pop because he overall hip hop artist. Yeah. To me, he embodies hip hop. I feel like Biggie is like the better rapper, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Biggie's the better rapper. But honestly, they made 2 different types of music too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of hard to compare. Only reason they together is because they was beefing, and beefing links you together.
Exactly. So they're really incomparable, but for the sake of just a discussion, it would be fun to hear it, but it's just they're different because I bet you people would think Keep Your Head, like what could Biggie play next to Keep Your Head Up? He couldn't play nothing next to Keep Your Head Up. What could he play next to Dear Mama? He couldn't play nothing next to Dear Mama. But what could, not like, if Biggie was to play Notorious Thug, Pop could play, what was it, I Get Around.
It's like Pac had like the encyclopedia of songs. Like he has a song for every little topic,
So I'm going to go with Pop. I'm going to go with Tupac. Redheads, let us know in the comments who you think will win in a versus battle between the Notorious B.I.G. rest in peace and Tupac Shakur rest in peace. All right, so now that we got that out the way, let's move on to something else. This has been something that is interesting that I wanted to talk about. I actually got into a big heated debate with Doja about this, but what irritates me is that people will say that if Aaliyah hadn't have died, Beyonce wouldn't have been as big as she is. So I'm gonna put that question out there. Do you all redheads feel that if Aaliyah didn't die, Beyonce wouldn't have been as successful as she is now? I'm gonna just speak on this. I feel like regardless if Aaliyah was alive or not, I don't think she would have been, like, Beyonce would have surpassed her at some point. Beyonce was going to be Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it was no question. Ever since Destiny's Child came out, you could look at Beyonce and say, okay, she take off, she's going to be big, right? I don't think that they were in competition with each other. I think Aaliyah was a different type of a singer. Aaliyah was a good singer, but I think that the only reason people may compare them is because, Aaliyah started doing movies. Aaliyah started to be a superstar, but I feel like Aaliyah was in a different lane than Beyonce was. I don't think that they would have even stomped on each other's toes. You see what I'm saying? They were like apples and oranges. When I see Aaliyah, I don't think of Beyonce. I think Beyonce is like, when it comes to dancing, just everything. She's just the full package. Aaliyah to me.
Aaliyah danced too, though. That's the thing. They had the three things. They had the singing, dancing, and the looks. They had all three of them.
She did, but to me, they were different type of singers too. Like,
yeah, I guess you can say what Beyonce can sing with an A, and
that's funny. She could sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Aaliyah was more just in that, that chill type of.
Yeah. She always kind of kept it in this one little tone.
Right.
Like it wasn't different ranges. Beyonce kind of does more different ranges on different songs.
Right.
And when was Aaliyah's first album?
Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
And what year was that?
94.
94? Yeah, Beyonce's first solo album wasn't until like 01?
2003.
Yeah, 2003. So that's almost like she started with Destiny's Child, but, she didn't really get her solo. She didn't become Beyonce until them solo albums like Dangerous in Love. That's when she started stamping her career as okay, she's one of them artists right there. Right. So it was kind of, I don't know. They are performing different, but I still see them as two different. I still think Beyonce would have been who she was anyway.
Anyway, you see what I'm saying? Like it's they because to me, Aaliyah, like you said, she came out in the early 90s. Beyonce came out with Destiny's Child in the late 90s. And Beyonce branched off as a solo artist until 03. And had RIP, she passed away and she died in 01. I think it was like
01. Yeah, okay.
So I think that Aaliyah eventually, she might not even have been just skyrocketed musically. You know what I'm saying? I think she was leaning towards acting more. So I think that she would have found her niche in that and probably would have, just to go to say, I think Beyonce was destined to be that superstar that she is right now. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if Aaliyah was alive or not, I don't think that they were the same. I think that they both would have been successful, but I don't think they would have crossed paths and it's like Aaliyah to me, damn near reminds me of Monica, Brandy, like those type. But it's a difference because she was dancing and stuff like that too. But I just think that she was a different artist than Beyonce.
Yeah. I can't really pinpoint it, but it's something special about Beyonce and how she elevated her career. So it's not a coincidence where she is now.
Yeah, exactly. Like for instance, like when people were comparing Jay-Z to Biggie because they were from Brooklyn, they both were lyrical, you know what I'm saying? But when I heard Aaliyah and I heard Beyonce, I never thought of the same thing. I thought they were just two different artists.
Yeah, that's my first time ever hearing a comparison until you brought it up today. I ain't never heard a comparison of that before.
People say that shit all the time, and I get so tired of it. Like it's no, bro. They just not.
It's a rap. You couldn't stop Beyonce. It was gonna happen regardless.
Yeah. All right. So that's an interesting topic. So I want to talk about another interesting topic. So Outkast, the legendary Outkast, they made a big impact in the game. They're legends, right? They got a whole mural painted of them here in Atlanta. They just did everything, right? So you always go back and ask the question, will they ever put out an album again? And why haven't they put out an album again? Why do you think Outkast has not put out an album since 2003?
Dre. I feel like because Big Boy, he still puts out albums. Dre ain't put out an album since Love Below, and that was an Outkast album.
Yeah,
it's like that got to be the common denominator there. So I don't know what's going on. Outkast was like the first group in hip hop that made me really love, like really just get into the culture like that of the music. Mm-hmm. And I hate that they wouldn't make no more albums, man. Like I was looking forward to when in 06 when Dre was making all these feature songs. He was going on just murdering all these features. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it was announced that he was gonna do some album called 10 the Hard Way. I'm not sure you ever heard about that.
I never heard that was gonna be the name of his solo album.
That was gonna be his solo album that he was gonna come out with, and it never came out. I'm like, he was killing everything. I was like getting real hyped about this stuff because I love Outkast and they style of music, and it just only time I was really paying attention when Outkast dropped the album was during Idlewild, and I can't really call that a real. I mean, it was an Outkast album, but it was more inspired by the film Idlewild, But
it
had a few joints on there.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, I think Andre kind of let it be known that he's not interested in that. You know, he'll do a guest feature every now and then. It's like, why would you not give one for the culture just to ride off in the sunset? You know what I'm saying? I
I don't
think
think he cares about that stuff, man. I don't know. I mean, Big Boy, he's still doing his thing. Like, he's still carrying the torch, but I'm not sure why Andre is not interested in making any more music.
which is just, I mean, but he still does feature verses, so that means that
Like, he didn't do that. Last feature voice verse he did was with Frank Ocean, I think. Wasn't that the last one?
he won 2020 on Goody Mob's album. Goody Mob put out an album a few months ago, and Andre got a verse on there.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, Andre still drops verses. It's just like, I mean, unless you don't, I mean, if you don't look on the hip hop sites every day, you might not see it, but he still drops it, which means that he still has a love for the music. It's like, is it something deeply rooted? Did something happen where he just said, fuck it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know, I understand the whole, you know, I don't care about being famous. I don't care about all that other stuff. But nigga, you cared about that from 94 all the way until 03. And I guess when y'all reach y'all peak, you just like,
Yeah, like, he might have been thinking like, man, this is where it goes down. So let me just get out on top, you know, so I can leave on top. That might have been what he was thinking. Because they was at the top. Because it was like, that album was huge. That album went diamond.
Now let's be clear.
I know double album, yeah, but still.
Right. It went down.
It's still certified diamond though. You can't take that away.
It went down. So
because it's called diamond because ain't double albums, don't they cost more than a regular album?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Not all the time.
So what's the point?
Huh?
So what's the point of calling it a double album if it's not double the price?
Well, the only reason is just that you can see the RIAA said that if you count it as two albums and package it together, then we count it as two albums. It don't matter what the price is. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Yeah.
I'll make every album a double album then. Back then, shoot, just double my doggone sales, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, right. But the thing is, a double album now, if you put out a double album on streaming platforms, you have more of a chance of charting because
right.
Do all that other stuff.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't see them. They would have put one out by now, but just in me, I just for the culture, I'd be like, man, it'd be so dope if they put out an Outkast album. Like to this day, if Outkast were to put out an album, do you feel like it would be successful?
I feel like that window of opportunity when everybody was really excited for it passed, man. I mean, if they do it now, it would be great, but around, let's say, anywhere from 2010 to probably 15, maybe even 16, it would have been exciting. But now it's like, I kind of accepted that, okay, that was a thing from the past and we enjoyed it while it was here. But it won't be as much of an impact as I would want it to be, I don't think.
I agree. The last time it would have been impactful is when they had that big concert here in Atlanta.
Yeah, like, what year was it?
2014. Yeah.
Right. So I was being lenient. 2016 might have been a little bit too long. So
I get it. So yeah, let us know in the comments what y'all think about that. All right. Another interesting topic I want to talk about. So I was listening to Lil Jon a couple right? And me and my home, shout out to the Trill, me and him, we talk about music all the time. And we realized that Lil Jon, when he was out, like with the East Side Boys and as a producer, he was impactful because he worked with everybody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these times when producers come out, they'll work with whoever's hot or whoever's popular, right? And the South, when Lil Jon started taking off, the South was taking off as well. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was others that came before him, but it's like when Atlanta was taking over from the Youngbloods, Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri was on it, you know?
Yep. I think he had one of the biggest Southern records of all time with Usher.
Yeah.
That right there kind of stamped his sound. Cause like I feel like he made the same beat 30 times over, bro. Like it was the same beat, but like people didn't know, they didn't care. It was just jamming.
Yeah. Literally the P.D. Pablo, How You Like It. What was it? what was that Petey Pablo song called? When can you do it? Freakily?
Yeah, yep.
And yeah, sounded like the same beat, but he switched up the synthesizers on that shit or something. But
and Snap Your Fingers, his song sound like that's a song with Sean Paul Young Blood. That's like he had a song that sound like some Lil Jon beat. I think if I'm saying it right, but that beat was made like 30 times over. I'm telling you, bro. It's the same beat.
It was
sampling itself.
It leads me to ask the question: do you feel like, as a producer, Lil Jon is underrated? Is Lil Jon underrated as a producer?
I mean, I don't think so. I think when he was popping there, but he got his roses when he was popping. Is he doing that stuff? What's he doing now? I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, he may be still making music. I don't know. I know the last thing that I heard was that Turn Down for What? And I think that was a big record. But
I think he's doing like EDM DJ music now, right?
Yeah.
He knows that like this ain't no mainstream stuff, but it pays real good. But so he just chasing that bag right now. So, but when he was popping in the mainstream hip hop culture, he got his love, and he was number one records all the time. Yeah. So I don't think he underrated. It just he did his thing when he had the ball.
Yeah, it could be true. I think that he could be overlooked when we're talking about some of the greatest producers of all time, simply because of what you said. He did have some of the same beats, but what I love about him so much is that on his albums, he would work with Ice Cube, Nas, Bone Thugs, not just people in the South. He went back and worked with the OGs at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just stayed working with Ludacris and stayed working with Trillville, Lil Scrappy, A-Ball, and MJG. You know what I'm saying? The South. But he went to the Midwest. He went to the West Coast, went to the East Coast. E40, you know what I'm saying? He brought Too Short back. You know what I'm saying? He gave E40 a hit when people, you know what I'm saying, would tell me when to go and all that stuff. Lil Jon did that beat.
Yeah, and he was like affecting pop culture too. Just that whole skit from Chappelle Show and all that stuff.
All that. And he was big. Like Lil Jon was major. And like I said, he worked with everybody. So that's why I feel like it hadn't been a lot of producers that actually did that when their wave was hot. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. He had one of the biggest producer waves in hip hop ever I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think it's been any other producer that did what he did as far as bringing in the whole culture together. Because a lot of these producers just work with whoever's hot. Oh, it's Migos, Cardi B, Drake. I just want to work with all of them, which is cool. But going back and getting people like Too Short, like Blow the Whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he produced. Yeah, he did produce that.
Yeah, he did it. Like Lil Jon went and did all that stuff. So shout out to Lil Jon. Got to give their legends on Resview. We give legends their flowers. I mean their roses. Yeah. Their roses while they're still living. All right, so let's go into Drake. So Certified Lover Boy was supposed to drop this month, but it got pushed back. I forgot what the reason was, but what do you feel like this album is going to do for Drake? I think that personally, this is the first Drake album that I've been looking forward to in a while. Because the fact that he's calling it Certified Lover Boy, it makes me feel like he's going to give, when he does what he wants to do, I think that brings out the best in him. But when he tries to please everybody, that's the reason his albums don't do. I mean, they do well, but his albums from like a hip hop head or R&B head, they may not like it as much because it sounds like a mix up of trying to please everybody. But Certified Lover Boy to me feels like he's saying, okay, all chains are off. I'm finna be the prettiest noob on records that I can be.
It fits along with his theme of his brand, because he always made love records. So this should be the album that actually fits the brand of himself the most. So it should be the most cohesive album he's ever made. Yeah. To me, it should be just from that title alone. It should be really good because it's what he kind of, that's his brand, like the love song kind of stuff, So it should work.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. How do you think it'll do? Do you think it'll be like a big selling album, like one of the biggest albums of 2021?
By default, it's by default. He gonna sell regardless.
Yeah.
Now, it's like of a thing of will it be bigger than his last or first? It's like he competing with himself at this point. So, but it's gonna be big regardless. I don't care what nobody say. It's gonna be big. Ain't nobody else big dropping either. I'm waiting for the heavyweights to drop. Like where everybody else at?
Yeah, Kendrick. Well, we know J. Cole is dropping this year. Which
Oh,
yeah. He said I think the fall off or whatever like that. But didn't you ask me about J. Cole? You were just like, didn't you ask me about him saying, "Am I looking forward to his releases anymore?" Yeah.
I know you a J. Cole fan, so
yeah, I'm a J. Cole fan. But the thing is, when you asked me that, what I told you was that I'm always looking forward to him, right? Like,
right.
They drop when J. Cole drops an album, I'm going to listen to it. But as a fan, I can tell you that most of his albums do not have replay value. Most of J. Cole albums do not have replay value. Now, I love J. Cole. J. Cole is one of the best artists that have been out in the last 15 years, right? But J. Cole has yet to give me the album that I feel like not only I've been waiting for, but everybody's been waiting for. He didn't do that until years later when he came out with Forest Hill Drive. And that was a good start. To me, that felt like that's a good freshman LP, right? But then 4 Years Only came out. It was okay.
And I actually bought that album. I mean, you was like hype me up, like man, you didn't get on. I mean, I always do about J. Cole, you know. And they played the mess out of that Forest Hills album drive on the radio during that time.
Yeah,
like he really worked that album, like for real, for like a good 2 years.
He did.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy his next album, and I happened to buy like the album that was like least critically acclaimed by even his fans.
Yeah.
And
then after that, KOD came out. And
now after the dust has cleared about KOD, what do you think about that album?
KOD was just like his other album. It was cool. KOD was not a classic. KOD had some joints on there, but KOD was a step in the right direction for him. But at the end of the day, what J. Cole is missing is one simple thing: replay value. That's it. Like everybody else's albums, I can go back, like Kendrick's album, by default. I mean, I go back and listen to his shit all the time.
Yeah.
I find myself, when I want to listen to Cole, it's a difficulty. I go back and listen to his mixtapes.
Really? So does he have like a classic mixtape?
Yeah, I feel like the warm up and Friday Night Lights are classics.
Now, are they considered classics in hip hop or just a classic to you?
A classic to me, and I feel like a classic to hip hop, arguably Friday Night Lights. Like everybody,
they say any of his projects was like a classic. I'm not saying there's not, but I never heard anybody mention that before. Like if he has a project. Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, people aren't going to say, like, I heard some people say ridiculous shit like For Your Eyes Only. They said For Your Eyes Only was a classic, and definitely not. And I'm a huge.
I ain't even gonna say that was a bad album. It just, I'm looking for like one of the top guys in the game to just drop something good. You know what I mean? Like. But I don't know, it just wasn't what I was looking for. It was very low tempo and kind of sad in a sense. Like it was like very. But I'm not sure what he was going through around that time. So
it felt more like an EP than an album.
Yeah.
You know? Because
it was 10 songs and like 2 of the songs were like the same beat. One song was a beat from a song that already been blown up already. Remember that?
Exactly.
If that had came out before that other song, that probably would have changed the whole what you thought of the album altogether.
Exactly. We always talked about that. Man, I wish J. Cole would have put that song out before Bryson Tiller did. That would have given him a boost. But no,
that song was actually good. But it actually took away from it. Like, oh man, I've heard this beat already a billion times on the radio.
And in the clubs and everything else. So yeah, that was his point. Hit the part that he missed. But overall, I feel like J. Cole, we've always said it, it's that untapped potential. But I'm not saying that his albums were garbage, that they weren't good, nothing. They were good. But
I listened to that For Your Eyes Only album a bunch of times, you know? So, like, I gave it a shot.
but nothing great. He's only put out good stuff. But to me, great is when it's replay value. See, the difference is between him and Drake. Drake, to me, don't have a classic album, but Drake has a lot of classic songs, a lot of different classic songs that you can go back.
He got the Tupac encyclopedia effect. He got a song for everything.
Exactly. But Redhead, in the comment section, let us know. Are you looking for Certified Lover Boy? Does J. Cole have any classic albums? I'm glad that we brought that up. This is just, it's flowing. It's flowing, baby.
I'm bring it out.
So one thing that I want to touch on, RIP to Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was a legend, baseball legend, defied the odds. He actually, I didn't even know he had white supremacists sending death threats to him. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records having the most hate mail, death threats, or whatever sent to him. But but he took the COVID vaccine 2 weeks before his death. So y'all be careful taking that.
Yeah. Just a little example of what can or cannot happen.
Did you know he was from Mobile?
I did not know that.
Mobile, him and Satchel Paige. Those MLB greats. So I want to talk about something real quick before we get out of here. So American Skin is a movie that's out right now. Produced Nate Parker. He's the star in the movie, is one of the stars in the movie as well. And it was directed by Spike Lee. Just to give some quick feedback on it, it was a good movie, but I didn't like it at the end simply for the fact that, at the end of the day, it just made it be like, oh, okay, white people understand the struggle that we are going through, and the black man gets killed. That's pretty much what it was at the end. Now, the acting was great, but it did start feeling like informational type, or whatever like that. But American Skin, I've been seeing a lot of good reviews. I think that, like I said, the acting was great, but I didn't like the ending personally. And I want to talk about the movie One Night in Miami. If you have not checked out that movie, it's directed. This is the first feature film that Regina King has directed. Regina King, of course, you know her from Friday and all those other good movies that she's put out. But One Night in Miami consists of Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and Malcolm X. And it's a fiction.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's a real good movie, man.
I want it in theaters, man. Did it make any theaters?
Yeah, it came out in theaters, but mostly or did it? Did it? Yeah,
I saw a commercial for theaters.
I know it's on Prime, but it's also in theaters as well.
It is. Cause I was thinking like, okay, this is a movie from Amazon Prime, so that means if the Prime movie went to theaters, then they better put Coming to America 2 in theaters too. Yeah, I'm trying to show up to the premiere in a doggone lion skin coat with a lion head on my shoulder, man. I'm trying to show up like doggone King Joffrey Joe Fur and the thing, man.
I really would, like I wish that COVID did. I wish COVID happened after Coming to America 2 came out.
Yeah, it just changed, man. It just changed how everything is. Like the whole movie industry still haven't recovered yet.
Nope, it hasn't. It's a lot of places like LA, New York, that movie theaters aren't open.
That's why I'm shocked that you said that stock had went up.
Yeah, well, AMC, for all my stockholders out there, AMC went up today because they got out of bankruptcy or declared themselves out of bankruptcy, and another company is funding them or something like that. I think since that's like the biggest chain of theaters, they're trying their best to, keep it pumping, keep it going or whatever like that. So we'll see what's to happen, but it's a lot of entertainers and, people out here struggling with it. The movie industry is different. The way they film is different now due to COVID, because it's 200 to 1,000 people that's on set at one time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really just, be cautious and everything like that. But man,
I didn't mean to interrupt your review for your movie though.
Yeah, people need to check it out because it's a fictional movie about a night that Malcolm X and them, they met up and after Ali's fight against I forgot who he fought, but if you haven't checked it out, just make sure you check it out. It was profound. The acting was great. I loved it. Tariq Nasheed disagreed with me, but it is what it is. But yeah, redheads, man, if you've been liking this episode, make sure that you hit the like button. This has been a great discussion. Shout out to Lavelle. Where do we follow you, man?
Man, you can follow me on social media, Instagram, Lavelle Leggett, LAVALELEGGETT. You can follow my YouTube channel, a series of cartoons. I got a brand new cartoon series that's about to drop in comic book form and animated form. So make sure y'all follow me there. A series of cartoons.
Oh yeah, it's going down, man.
That's gonna be what's up.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that, man. Lavelle's been a partner of mine. He's my friend brother, my brother. We talk about this stuff all the time, so it's exciting to actually talk it to everybody. You know, bring the conversation in front of y'all.
Absolutely.
You already subscribe to youtube.com/we-network, and make sure you visit redsview.com, get your RedsView t-shirts. We got more interviews that are coming up, so a special one that's on the way in February. I'm excited about it. So make sure that you go on the channel, hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe. Follow me at JAYR3D on all social media platforms. Got another video coming out pretty soon, so y'all be on the lookout for it. But this is J Red, Lavelle Leggett, Red's View, and we're signing out.
Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, give up, give up, give up.
I know you got doubts, but get to the bag. Just follow the dream.